toward the game, but Gamecocks look at every sports schedule, and they pick out the Clemson games, and those are the ones they pay attention to the most. So you have a win like that against Clemson, and you just feel like it's for the fans and it's for the community and it's for everyone that supported us ever since day one. So really special. I think the way that we won the game is even a little sweeter. Just really proud of the team. Obviously really proud of Neely Lamb, the way that she pitched, and she got us there with 6 outs left, and we obviously went with Gress at that point, but Neely gave us her heart. Through most of the game, she was 8 years old learning how to be a rise ball and dreamed of pitching in that game, and so to see that kind of just come to fruition, I think is just really special for her. So really glad she's a Gamecock, and really proud of the way we played defense. We had a couple really great plays. I think about the double play backhand to Brooke Blankenship to end that inning where they had some momentum there at the end. I was just really proud of her. I thought Quincy Lelio played a heck of a center field. Really challenged her there, range at the end. All sides and coming in to end the game. So just really proud of him through and through. And, this is one that you'll think about a lot. You'll dream of. You never forget it. And just really proud they can put their stamp on it for their career. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You guys have had such an incredible season so far, but there's something about beating Clemson. Can you just speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, we try really hard just to play the game, not the opponent. But, I said it, I think that this is the best rivalry in college sports. And so we're just really honored to, have a chance to compete and be a part of that rivalry. And so it's definitely a little sweeter for sure. And, just to be able to have a non-conference game with that kind of impact on the fan base and the community and our team is really cool here in the middle of our season. So, and they're a tough opponent. It's a top 25 opponent. And I thought that we just really dominated the game from the first inning. So it'll be one that I think we remember for a long time.
Yeah, get the first 2 on and then have the 3-run home run. How much does that settle things in and get y'all feeling good?
Yeah, it means a lot. I kind of was joking with Ari a little bit. It's like riding a bike. She was out for a week and, went through a pretty, major injury there for a week. And just to see her as confident as she was in the box, it just reminds me of how good of a hitter she is. And I think when it left the bat, we all knew it was out immediately, which, our park is pitcher friendly. It's tough to get it out at times in our park. And so, just had that sound, had that feel as soon as it came off the bat. And it was just kind of, just a really cool feeling that she just got right back in there and, was able to impact the game so early. And it definitely, I think, gave us a lot of momentum. And to have Q and Carly on, for that at bat also I think was huge in their first at bats of the game. So it's also a really good opportunity for us just to kind of get on track for the weekend. We never lose sight of it. We got a tough opponent on the weekend, so I was really pleased with all the at bats we had tonight.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you didn't get to play against Clemson as a player here. Yeah. So what's it mean to get this first win as a coach for you?
Yeah, it means a lot. When I was, in school here, we beat Clemson and everything else. We didn't get the opportunity to play them. But, there's a heck of a days with our baseball program and our football program and our basketballs at the time. And I just remember how big of a game that was as a student, and as somebody that attended all those events. And so really special for me just to be able to, feel that now in the dugout and as a coach. And it is felt. There's just something in the air, for that game. So it's special, and I probably won't ever forget it.
Kind of a two-parter I have. Mm-hmm. Firstly, Shane Beamer's pitch. What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome. It was definitely a strike, and he just landed a fastball there. Really grateful for Shane for coming out and just being a part of such a special night for me and for our program. And he definitely practiced for a couple of days. I got winds that he was in the football indoor practicing, so we just made sure he had a glove and a ball and knew the technique, so he took it really serious and obviously threw a strike to Lexi Winters. But I just think it's also a testament to who Shane is and what he means to our department, that he shows up here on a Tuesday night when we play Clemson and is willing just to be a part of our program, and he's been wonderful to me since I've been here since last summer. So it was really cool. I'm sure the photos are going to be great. I haven't seen them yet, but I bet they're great.
And also just after your guys' tough Oklahoma series, it took you guys a little bit to get back on your feet, but now you have 2 series wins over top 15 teams, and now today, what's kind of your mindset going into yet another top 3 World Series?
Yeah, I think it doesn't get easier week by week, does it? Yeah, I mean, we're far from the Oklahoma games at this point. I think those are, deep rooted in our minds. We played really well against Georgia. We played really well against Texas Tech, other than Sunday. Sunday post game, I really challenged them. We beat ourselves Sunday. We didn't play very well there at the end. And, I was like, how long is it going to take us to get back kind of with who we are and our systems and our processes? And clearly it didn't take long at all. They were in the facility all day today, preparing for the pitching. And I thought recovered really well yesterday with Monday being off. So, it didn't take us long to get back on track. And I think every experience we've had up to this point, whether it's a win or a loss against really good opponents, will prepare us to go into Baton Rouge this weekend and put 3 really good games on LSU, who is playing really well on all sides. They pitch really well, and they're obviously hitting really well right now at the top of the league. So it's going to be a heck of a weekend. For us as a program, it's our All for Alex weekend, a huge campaign that Beth Trina has kind of hedged, to celebrate and just bring awareness to ovarian cancer. So we're going to be a part of their walk on Saturday, and, it's our teal game on Saturday, and it's kind of special that we're the opponent there that night for, that cause. So we're really excited to be a part of that.
With y'all's start of the season, y'all are very active on the recruiting trail anyway, but what does this do, having the kind of success that y'all are having, to kind of open doors and get more recruits paying attention to y'all?
It's massive. I think that's the best thing we can do in the spring for recruiting is just win, and we can tell people are watching. We have coaches reach out to us constantly. We've even had some recruits that have chosen to come watch us play. So it's massive. We're really excited to kind of get to that segment. Want to be so present now with this team because this team is only going to be this team this year. And we are losing a ton of experience and kind of bracing and preparing ourselves to really hit the portal hard this summer. And so if we have a really good year like we've been having and, continue to have success, it makes those conversations a lot different and a lot more powerful. And, it's really, really huge that we're building something that other people want to be a part of.